G'day. Welcome. I realize I've forgotten There's always one thing I forget. Like, I remember everything except one thing. I even was like, yeah, I remembered the, to update the division. That's like the one thing I usually forget, but no. Instead, I forget to update the stream title like a fool. So this time, we do have ProBUs facing off against PSISTORM, Zerglings, Zurprise, which I think I've spelled wrong now I'm looking at it. Have I just wrote Zerglings? Oh, I knew it was listening. But. That's capital R. But. Little R. Let's just pop that there. Zurprise, and this class 23 out of 125. So. This was requested by Ector. They're like, yep, I want to see this series played out. I'm assuming they're in it. Why am I getting a direct message? Who is wanting to deal with me? Okay, cool. That's good news. No, anyway. Oh, yep, I do see Ectaris in this name. I don't understand now. So, ProBUs versus PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise. I do like how many StarCraft teams, StarCraft-inspired teams are in Division A. ProBUs and PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise being two of them. And yes, I do know it is actually ProBUs. Because, well, that is phonetically how they want it pronounced. So, map number 1 is Dragonshy. I don't know who first picked, who map picked, but we got here anyway. We do see that ProBUs did ban out the Garden of Terror and the Volskaya Industries. Well, PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise did ban out both the Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow. So we won't be seeing Cursed Hollow or Volskaya this series like we did last. However, what I'm doing is opening up the map now, and this should be a good series from what I can tell. And what the is that is an interesting comp for what? Oh my gosh, ProBUs, if you lose this one, that's a throw. So we have some weird things coming up from what I can see, so let's get into the game.
Heroes, prepare for combat.
On the side of ProBUs, we do have Ace on the Maev. Ector is on the Rhaegar. I think I know who won now. 8-Bit is on the Joanna. Shoepuff is on the Hogger, and John Bunyan is on the... What's her name again?
4, 3,
Zagara.
2, 1.
Well, Ector, you're right. We do also see Nimsy on the Aberfur. Bramble is on the... you did miss one series. It was a Region Rebel facing off against Sart, Slow the Taper off in Division C East. We'd see Bramble is on that. Very unfortunately caught out Samurai there. Unfortunately, we do see the Junkrat go down. Gambling is here on the Hammer. Oh, we do see now that just over right here, Samurai goes down as well. Yeah, this is the first map of the series. What the hell? We also have a ProBUs? What is... I'm not even going to pretend to know what PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise is going on here, because it definitely was a surprise to me. So the only melee we have is Samurai. Very much it looks like a PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise's strategy is very much going to be run people around the map, which isn't going to be easy per se. Who needs tanks and heals? Well, for a while, solo support Aberfur was indeed a thing, and it can still be a thing. It is difficult to pull off. It's not the easiest by any means, but it is something that can be done. The only real kind of spanner of the works here that can be for the side of PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise is the Maev. Maev is a very good engaged character. If they can get on top of you with their E and then tether you, that's only something where you may just die. Which, if you get caught out as for ProBUs, especially, that may just be a rough spot for you. Gambling's looking to set up here. Ace does go back top. Actually, no, if we just check with the E, doesn't quite go through. We can see now Bramble is stepping on the objective. All while we do see that ProBUs was pushed off bottom. Not quite the easiest to go into both healer and a Zagara. Zagara is one of the hardest ones to go into the best of times. You can see now they are going to be taking out Tarim. Really, you just need to kind of hit these pylons being the main issue with how ProBUs wants to build things. And ProBUs is a Q build. As you know, it will be quite hard to fully lock down some people. Meanwhile, happening top, we do have Ace trying to get the resets they can, as well as Shoepuff helping out. And this camp's not the easiest to deal with for the side of PSISTORM, Zerglings, Zurprise as well. Samurai doesn't really get there clear until 7, and you can believe him a little bit before then. Bramble does get hit into the trash pile, and that is a dead Samurai. Unfortunate for them. All while we do see bottom has been taken by John Bunyan. Yesy Man 14 and the Red Rook bullying the team out. I'm getting message once again. Right. We do now see everyone's pushing in. Yeti Man 14 taking a lot of damage. John Bunyan and, well, 8-bit being forced out. Meanwhile, we can see this late wave is actually getting very large top and pushing in. But pushing in does get hit by the Junkrat trap, and now we can see when the full team of ProBUs is together, it's very much something that can be done. I'm wondering if this is done like a bigger map like Cursed Hollow, which they banned out, or Gun of Terror. This may get a lot more value, but in this map, where it's, or even, oh I know, I was going to say, or even what's the word I'm looking for? Warhead Junction. This would be a Warhead Junction. This would be an amazing comp to deal with on Warhead Junction. It is such a nightmare on that map. I'd imagine having, yeah, Warhead. There we go. Like if you had that much split push, you would have such an issue to deal with. But as it stands, this is not an easy one to. This is not the easiest map because you do have some objectives you need to take control of. And sure, while 8-bit's taking a lot of damage in the process, they also have the sustain that they that they need to really deal with what's happening. You see Samurai is just stepping on top objective now, so it'll be very much up to Gambling to sort out. Nope, they don't even need to sort for that long as Bramble gets for flipping time. All while bottom 8-bit and John Bunyan doing their own thing. Camp is up for the side of ProBUs. When there's these weird comps, I really do get thrown off a little. It's hard for me to say what I need to. I'm gonna go, oh yeah, that's happening, huh? Right, we do see 7 Ace getting Tever onto Gambling will be fine. Oh, stuck in the Junkrat trap, however, will not be as fine. My voice decided to stop for no reason there, and that is a Maiev death, and that is unfortunate. Oh well, Emperor's just chilling here as that solo healer. Oh, solo spot, which, let's have a look at the builds, because I have not actually looked at that yet. Interesting to see 8-bit did go subdued still. They're maybe hoping to get the stacks off of Samurai plus one other. And that we do see the Maiev has gone fan build. He's picked up by Zagara, but we did go that Venom Spine at level. Oh, God, tired. And Venom Spine is at level 7. Other quests we do not have are the Hammering on Gathering Storm, I believe it's called, actually, on the Felstar. Maiev does use Nisha's auto attack thing to pick. What is that actually called? I think it's Nisha's Memento. Yeah, Nisha's Memento to pick up camps. It does make it a lot easier for them. You can see now they are trying to just get through it, and that camp will go down. All while Abford just keeps a little bit of mine action to make sure no one steps in. 8-bit trying to step on it in time, but ProBUs was on it a little bit too early for them. John Bunyan getting a little bit bullied in the bottom lane, Gambling and Red Rook are here. You can see that Samurai goes down. It's just a little bit too much damage once him again. I think Ektar, Ace, and Shoepuff and Bench take down that Samurai as a free man twice now. And now we get a little bit of a cheeky invade call. Yeti Man decides not being here is also a good idea. I do have to say Ektar and Hogger need to be a little bit careful how they position around this. That was the gust coming out. You see Shoepuff gets in but does get pushed out. There is still one minion up, so that was a little bit unfortunate for Gambling there. They went in, showed their hand, the team is designed to play off-meta comps. I assumed as much. I do like it. I do like the weird comps. I just wonder how much off-meta you can get away with, but I do like it either way. Do not take my words off. I wonder if this will be a better on a different map, as a words of discouragement. I'm more inclined knowing that if a team runs weird comps, I'm more inclined to come back and custom again. So that's a good thing to know for the PSISTORM Brambles for me in the future. And by no means is it doing poorly, it's actually doing very well in terms of they're constantly in a place they need to be at the right time. It is just a harder thing to pull off. Especially into things such as Maev, which actually feeds on things such as Samurai quite well. Nope, Samurai does get a nice swap out. The ping is on John Bunyan, doing the best damage to him. Ace didn't quite find the Q on them, but Bramble has been found. They do get tethered. They do actually get out. And that is a little bit of a misstep by the side of PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise. Very good escape by Bramble. Also, welcome Bramble to the stream. I hope you're doing well today. I do like Samurai play, so I'm also more inclined to watch good Samurai play. And oh, ProBUs goes down. They did pop the pylons, but no, that was a little bit late on my part. Sorry, but also a bit late on the. That's a little bit good rotation there by the side of PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise. And again, sorry, I'm very distracted this morning. I'm getting quite a few messages and do actually need to be on top of things. Now, just 8 minutes in, we are at the 14-13 mark. A lot of bodies top as we see Samurai was cloned. Ace getting the resets of their life. Oh my god. I bet they're just sitting there going, man, I wish I went the second quest all of a sudden, because there was about 6 bodies in that one very small area. Gambling will be stuck in that. Keep in mind, the silence is still out of this, so they are going to be in a lot of trouble. We do see a tether coming out. Gambling gets pulled back in. Does use Ghost. However, the shield comes out, and that is the Valstar going down. Yeah, sure, they ate 2 heroics for their efforts, but there's still 2 heroics nonetheless. Also, I want to keep a note on these heroics. So I haven't actually mentioned, we do see Sagara went the more talent. Also, I'm going to go down here as Red Rook is in danger. Sagara went more. Blessed Shield on the Joanna. Containment Disc, Maev, Ancestral Healing, and Water Bolt for the other 2. I should really say their names. Rhaegar and Ogre, respectively. On the other side, we do see that, well, Pylon Overcharge picked by ProBUs, but that's not slowing Shoepuff or John Bunyan. But we do also see that is the Illusion Master, Samurai. Oh, ooh, Abathur burrowed top to see what they can do to cancel the objective there. They managed to do quite effective with it. We also see that Evolution Abathur, speaking of which, also the Riptide Junkrat and Gust Valstar. So a little bit meta still in terms of builds, and we do see 13s coming through now for the side of PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise. And Gambling has been found by Shoepuff, takes the least amount of damage and will go down, but it's very unfortunate for them, 8-bit finding a trap. Meanwhile, we can see Nimsy and Bramble pushing once again. Nimsy will go down this time. Ace doing a little bit of cleanup, but the damage will already be done. That's now full gate and half a building down. If one more of those cheeky little things. Yeah, this is definitely fun to watch. I actually don't know where I need to keep my eyes. Most, like, team comps, it's pretty easy to understand where you need to keep your where you need to keep your vision on, effectively. John Bunyan barely gets there in time. Bramble may just fall a little bit short. And that is unfortunate for them. But they will just go, I'm just going to siege now. Sod it. Yeah, definitely many heroes you don't always see in this one comp. I would assume that Ace possibly picked up the Maev later in the draft. Ekdive can probably confirm that for me. And now we have a pretty good push going on here with the Dragon Knight. The team of PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise is struggling a little bit to deal with it, but they're doing their best. They are down at this talent. But this is a comp there. When 16s come through, it can get very dangerous for ProBUs. Because, well, they do get a lot of blow up at that 16 mark. And things like Zagara dies pretty easily. Things like Rhaegar can get pretty preyed on by it. Especially if we do see the slow coming out from Abathur at the 6. If we see the slow W being picked up here, yep. Merciless Strikes plus Envenom Spines is a very good synergy that over Randy Newman's ran. As the slow combined with the constant crits on slowed heroes can very much make it suddenly free crit. Oh, Ace. Oh, Ace. We do see the Ancestral come out. We do see Gus looking to be held. Ace is still stuck in the spot. Does get pushed into a better position, though is able to get out that gate and is ultimately going to be fine. Unfortunate that they couldn't capitalize on what was a stuck Maev. Okay. Hogger is infinitely spinning. We do see Riptire is still chasing Ace. Ace will eventually get hit by it, however, they have enough health to survive. Bramble gets stunned, gets blinded. But ultimately will be fine. Bottom camp is up. Okay, so you picked up Maev before the Samurai. That's kind of my main question. Shoebuff is going to be doing their best to get rid of it. The turret still stands. Hogger, unfortunately, not able to best the turret today. And 20s are getting pretty close now for the side of ProBUs. Yeti Man does push themselves out, and Ace still having to deal with turrets and ProBUs' general, I'm going to throw shit on the ground, you're going to have to deal with it eventually. It's very unfortunate that Ace falls just short of clearing the pylons, because really their auto attack's literally left with like 2 health by the looks of things. Alright, thank you for that, Phil and Hector. So, in terms of things, we do also see Ben Ragnaros' the Chromius band up, and we see Joe's Zag was picked up, ProBUs Junkrat picked up, then Rhaegar last picked. Yeah, very fortunate that you were planning on picking that anyway, because this would actually be a lot... Unironically, this would be much more difficult for the side of ProBUs to deal with if they didn't have Maev. Because, well, their AoE then falls mainly down to the Qs from Zagara as well as Hogger's no control. And the spell armor Mirage deals with those pretty effectively. It does get removed quite quickly because of Hogger's spin, but it does at least... Nope. That is a lot of damage coming out to Bramble. Bramble does at least survive Shoepuff. They get that W on them now. And that is something where they probably could have dealt, but instead the Dragonite was already found, which is a bit unfortunate for Zerglings, PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise. Sorry, I do keep muting myself to drink. I just want to make sure my throat is good for this afternoon. And once again, I have a message. Right, we do see the Dragonite does get the kick onto Yeti Man. Looked a little bit strange, but did make the connection. So we do now see that Gambling has taken damage. Will be dropping the Reptile on him. Gets a nice double hit with it. But still, 20s are through now. We do see that the Dragonite will be kicking Yeti Man pretty close to the Hall of Storms. And it's like, you know what? I will take that Hall of Storms trip. I'm just going to heal up real quick. And also, welcome Ace. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, Gambling is kicked now. Also choosing to gain their health and mana back while they're by it. And there goes the DK, and I'll quickly touch on the Storm Talents over here, because we do have Blind Above Light Joanna. We do have that Samuro pushing once again. Oh, both Bramble and Nimsy are here. Bramble is this one, guys. But no, they decide they need to deal with clones instead. But yeah, we do... I never know what these ones are called. Shadow Orb Huntress on the Maev. We do see Blind Above Light Joanna. Pack Instincts. Yeah. On the Zagara. We do also see the Pit Fighter Rhaegar, which definitely is an unusual pick. It's not the often picked one. As well as Hogger's Joggers. No, Anger Management on the Hogger at level 20. Level 20s are just about through now for the side of Bramble. Does get out. Ektar does barely see them, but they do live. Yeah, level 20s are then through. We do see ProBUs going shoot 'em up. We do see that Wind Strider on the Samuro. Let's go here then. Riptide Junkrat, Ultimate Evolution upgrade, Evolutionary Link, as well as the Gust File Sign. And this makes it so Samuro will be a lot harder to kill. They'll get a shield. Well, at least Clone will get a shield. Wait. No, the original target gets a shield every 35 seconds, so it makes it much harder. Yeah, no, that is very much what Ektar needs to do. We see Bramble and Nimsy do have that combo up once again. Ace getting in there actually pretty quickly this time. No clones dropped by Nimsy, which is possibly in plan to deal with Ace's clear. But very much Ace is able to clear things pretty effectively each time. But each time Bramble is getting enough value where Ace does need to keep an eye on things. Where we can see tower and half the gate was dropped there in just those few moments. So it's not going to be something that can be dealt with very easily.
Take hold of the shrine. Earn the Dragon Knight's power.
We see Ace does take it down. Dragon Knight is picked up by Zagara, but will it be an end call? Oh, Rhaegar's trying to stay on top of Bramble. That's not exactly easy. There was a team called currently chasing Samurai for a reason. It's not the easiest, and you're probably not going to get there. But no, we can see that Samurai is still considering pushing. Riptide being pushed out. And we see 8-Bit is going to be targeted. No, they don't actually find either of them. Right, I'm going to close that so we can see what's happening there as well as extra. So Junkrat is only... Yeah, Junkrat didn't find either of them, so they didn't get any cooldown reduction on their tire. Dragon Knight taking a lot of damage, actually. We do see one of the clones getting kicked. Not quite ideal, but ultimately we'll be fine. We do see that ProBUs is hit by ProBUs's containment disc. I got broken by the same ProBUs and ProBUs, but no, we do see Shoepuff dropping what damage they can. Dragon Knight a little bit low, Shoepuff even lower. That slow plus crit damage does so much, and that's why I said that is the combo they need to be scared of. Shoepuff unfortunately spins into the turret, but no, they don't get taken out. Shoepuff gets to live on a little bit more than an 8 for their health. Oh, and we see Zagara has found Bramble sneaking around. Bramble decides to mount, and we see Ace is probably going to be sitting here ready for the Samurai duty once again. Bottom camp is being picked up. We can see... Okay, let's have a look what's about to happen here. There it is. Nice tether. A lot of resets. Nimsy taking a lot. Creep was actually huge at point. Yeah. No, absolutely. Oh, we see that Samurai is hit with a containment disc, but will Ace be able to capitalize off of it? Ace seems to be doing their best. Bramble hits with a tether, and that was the death sentence. No escaping that time. We see now that Ace and Ectine 8-Bit will be getting peppered by the pylons, which they haven't really been clearing the pylons as much as they need to. We see all while that the cooldown mule is going to be repairing that building, and we see it just repaired it from that damage point up to above 50%. Right, both teams are still here to fight. Gust coming out from gambling, pushing the rest of the team away. Okay, what's being toxic on stream? Is it me? Okay, you two. Okay, you two. Anyway, we do see that it was a kill on the ProBUs, and with 2 down, Samurai coming up soon. That looks like it will be a little bit of start of an end call, but no commitment to it yet. But there's a lot of damage coming out. John Bunyan takes damage, as well as 8-Bit, just that Riptide event getting healed up pretty immediately by Ectar. And we can see the team of... Okay.
My husband is dead. Remind this kingdom of his...
Okay. Simface is being reported. We see Shoepuff and John Bunyan stepping on their respective objectives. Hogger didn't give a hit onto Bramble. They're slightly early with their stun. And just as the loot hoard is being dropped, if you hit the stun too early, it doesn't register the loot hoard as a terrain. It will just kind of eat the stun. Oh, is Ace about to B-step again? I know the court team's ending, but is Ace about to B-step again? Nope, they do escape. Never mind. I think Ace just flamed Shoepuff there. Right, we can see the court is being called to end. Yeah, I knew that was the case as soon as that ping came out. I'm like, that's absolutely 7 Ace flaming. We can see that court is getting dropped currently. Dragon Knight actually having to back out. Will get popped in just a few moments. There it is, but core looks like... Oh, actually, no, the rocks stunning the whole team. Ectar, 8-Bit, and Shoepuff were stopped for a little bit. And we can see that it was nice. A 4-man stun. Core, however, a little bit too low for the side of PSISTORM Zerglings Surprise to hold on. They still did very well, and actually, we can see that ProBUs was very frustrated by the end of it, so they definitely did what I like to do in all video games, which is not necessarily winning, it's sending a message, and the message here was PSISTORM Zerglings Surprise can still do very well, even with those off-meta picks. So let's have a look at the game summary, see how that went. ProBUs did a lot of hero damage. They were just camping out bottom with 231k soak as well. Samurai, well, not as much soak or siege. They were definitely just pushing buildings and making things in general a problem for ProBUs. ProBUs did, however, have a very good early pick of Maiev to deal with that, as I found out. Hogger also did pretty well in the situation. In terms of healing, we see Eva did have 15k, which really, Rhaegar shouldn't be out healed if they're the only healer in a game. And Soak, we do see Hogger and Junkrat actually getting the most of the other team. Okay, in terms of team comps, I'm not going to bother talking about that, because in terms of a pretty standard comp, ProBUs did well there. In terms of throwing the team off and doing excellent with what tools you had, I'm very happy to see what PSISTORM Zergling Surprise did. I'm very interested to see what happens to the other two maps of this series. But in terms of talents, everything kind of makes sense, for me at least. There may be someone who... Okay, I never know about Hogger. Don't ask me anything about Hogger. Essentially, I'm like holding my hand over Hogger, just going, I don't know anything about this character. Don't tell me. Don't like go, yeah, this makes sense. I'll be like, nah. Okay, that's right. Pit Fighter was the only thing that stands out. Not picked very often. At all. Typically, you see the other talents picked up. Wait, did you... Yeah. So not the AoE splash healing from Ancestral. Sagara did take the loot. Yeah. I mean, it's a bigger radius. That's something, right? But no, they weren't really with the Samurai, so it's a bit harder for them to stack. So what I'm going to do is change it back over to map view screen. Tick off this. Nope, wrong way around. Tick off this. And look at what map we have coming up next. For some Infernal Shrines, I'm not casting ProBUs ever again. Why am I getting something... Right, and we do have Towers of Doom coming up next. Which I'm a fan of Towers of Doom. I do like when we do get to these maps less picked. Again, don't know who chose map, who chose first, so we will be getting into it shortly. I hope things are around. I hope I downloaded things in the right order. That's always like my biggest fear of like I've done things in the wrong order. But no, we will be getting into it now as we will prepare ourselves for battle. I nearly went to the wrong screen. So we will start with PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise as we have Yeti Man 14 on the ProBUs. Gambling is on Jaina this time, so we have a little bit more standard comp. Nimsy on Anduin, the Red Rook is on the Diablo, and Bramble is on the... so they took you guys here, okay. And Bramble is on that Tannis, which I hope he's stacking. On the other side, we do see Shoepuff on the Dahaka. Ektar is on that Brightwing 8-bit Varian. John Bunyan is on the Chromie, so we get a little bit of blow up, and Ace is on the Maiev. Probably this was the last one. Nice. And we do see that as a time swap coming out onto Bramble. Nice Q directly after it, meaning Shoepuff can't actually find the tongue onto them. That is very good timing. Also, we'll note that we see Fingers Frost Jaina. We do see Falling Sands Chromie, so we're likely going to see Rewind, or Temporal Loop, I guess it's called. Which I just want to play Chromie now. We do also see that's a very dead Dahaka, flipped, stunned, and killed. We see ProBUs is going to be doing the double soak thing for one side, and well, Bramble is going on that tankier build. They actually went the reactive parry at level 1. Not often you see reactive parry, but that 50 spell physical armor may help quite a bit. Alright, ProBUs is trying to pulley Ektar a little. Ektar probably not known, well, I shouldn't say Ektar, Brightwing not known to be one of those wave clear heroes. And we can see now ProBUs is making their way down. Shoepuff has found them, but Yeti Man immediately did a U-turn going, don't want to deal with that actually. Feel like going the long way is a better idea. Gambling has helped to pick up the middle. So, well, it's ProBUs versus ProBUs twice in a row now, isn't it? Camps are being picked up by both. I'm just watching ProBUs. Camps being picked up by both teams. It looks like there will be an invade call. Bramble just sauntering on up. Gets hit with the Hourglass. Ace Veer not quite looking to tether. They're just going, you know what, I'm going to play safe. Don't know where the rest of the enemy team is. I don't want to walk into some death trap. The sappers for PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise will actually be going quite close to the gate, I was about to say. But yeah, we can see all three running in. 2 to the top tower, 1 to the gate. And that is a good start for PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise. Flamestorm coming out, getting a little bit of damage, getting a little bit of pepperage on it, but no deaths there so far. Now we see that is a taunt variant, which I'm not very surprised about. In fact, I expected it. But I don't want to have a nap. I shall not nap during the day. That is my one rule to myself. 8-bit takes a lot of damage, does taunt Bramble, but no, Ektar will be going down first. That little Theory Dragon is throwing the wall. Ace now, in realizing he's in the wrong place, does get out, does dodge the E, and not put back in his place. Right, Root coming out 8-bit, and we head to his Shrines coming up. Right Wing will be up. Ace does use the Vault of the Wardens just to make sure they aren't going to go down. They're going to have a quick reset, but I imagine Brightwing may phase shift onto 8-bit. Coming up now as 8-bit just got thrown into the team. Nope, Brightwing is just running. That's not it. It's 5 bin. You had phase shift up! Heal your tank! There we go. Right, now that I've yelled at Ektar for the day, we see Nimsy is channeling the objective bottom right. So Anduin will be getting that pretty effectively. Then tops are traded out for the side of both ProBUs and PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise as well. No surprise that there's not going to be any contesting going on there. Anduin doing their best to keep Red Rook alive. Does get hit with the tether. Oh, no tether activate there on Ace. However, they did get quite a few dagger resets. And that is the Red Rook going down. Most fan of knives. Maeve is one of those ones I really enjoy playing, but man, am I not good at it. Because for some reason, fan of knives just never click for me. Just like, I swear it will hit, and then it doesn't get a reset. I'm like, what? Why? I threw it into like a clump of people. I'm like, I don't know why. But now we see that Bramble and Co will be starting camp. They're not amateur opponents, so it does take them a little bit longer. But it looks like we're going to have a good old brawl coming on out. Ace goes on to Nimsy. Nimsy gets pulled back in. They didn't respect that tether. They are the ones in trouble, as I did see Ace to go that tether build, but we see that is the Anduin going down first. Ace now on the chopping block. Let's say they went tether, they won not tether build. They are Q build in general. Bramble goes in, doesn't quite hit anyone there, no swap available. And we see Chromie actually went the Slowing Sands at level 7, which, well, I did say expect Temporal Loop. Slowing Sands still very good here. But yep, here are the talents for anyone who are interested at the time. We do see that we do get the Solarite Reaper, so a little bit more wave clear from Bramble, a little bit more of AoE damage. Red Rook is in trouble, Anduin's only just getting back. Gambling's actually fully out of resources. 8-bit, even more trouble, but no, they will be fine. Flip coming out, there's the tether, finds Red Rook and Bramble. Bramble still has that 50 physical armor activated, which I can't remember what gives it. Okay. Lots of ability with that. We do hear the boss laughing as the boss does drop. 8-bit and John Bunyan all kind of in a good protective field around the Dahaka. And the side of PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise just prioritize clearing those sappers. Yetiman just running around. Ektar, you're getting complimented. But no, Variel, as we get into Division A, Heroic, Nexus, and Storm, which I don't cast often because of my availability. Yeah, there's some very good players in these other divisions. Ace is going to give it tether. Red Rook pulled right back into the Slowing Sands where they weren't quite wanting to be, which I'll keep in mind actually. The Slowing Sands for their tether is a nice one. Writing down things for my own team, no doubt. Don't take me. Don't look at me taking notes. I'm not here to take notes at the moment. I'm here to cast. If I cast Division C East, I will take notes, but not other divisions. Oh, that is a very unfortunate place to be if your 8-bit does get hit by the Lightning Breath. May have all the while trying to get the resets they can. Oh, Warden's cage being finally broken open. Oh, Gambling goes down. That's unfortunate. But Shoepuff has now joined the team. Does get pushed by Red Rook. Unstopped slide onto Shoepuff, so Bramble's able to escape. That is probably a good spot. That was a very good swap for them to do, as they were about to perish, to say the least. I think the Varian may be a little bit unhappy that his prey got to escape. Right, Bramble starting their camp. 8-Bit and Ace have been found by Red Rook, however. Bramble wanting to complete this before doing anything else. John Bunyan will be starting the channel, but they may just need to actually fight here, as we do see ProBUs has come down now as well, as it's 10v10 fight. 8-Bit taking a lot of damage early on. Pops that shield, will protect out. But no, we do see that they will be forced out. Yeti Man 14 will be challenging the objective, but Shoepuff is coming in over top. So this fight will continue, as I may need to zoom out considering how spread out this is. Diablo hit by Tongue. Red Rock gets then taunted. Ektar actually relatively low, has to blink heal out. Ace dodges the stun from the light bomb, that's what it's called. And Red Rock meanwhile very low, having to take their time. Swap coming onto Shoepuff. Shoepuff in front of a wall now. Red Rook gets the stun, gets the flip. Sure, Brightwing is able to take bottom, but that team fight was in favor of PSISTORM Zerglings Surprise in the end. And well, that is a unfortunate time for ProBUs. The team, not the hero. Oh, this is annoying to say it this way. Gambling will be starting the camp. They did tap, so they do now have a little bit extra mana. How are they doing in terms of stacking? With this globe they get from this camp, they will be able to get their Fingers of Frost up, which there it is. Nice swap onto John Bunyan, straight into their own camp. But we see Varian walk straight in front of a wall for Red Rook. So they've flipped out of a blizzard. A little bit unfortunate there. You may want to wait a little bit longer if you're Red Rook. Gambling being ran down by Ace does pop Ace a little bit of ice. Ultimately, they will be then burnt by Diablo, so being forward out not too long after. Oh yeah, Artanis, when they choose reactive parry, is actually incredibly hard to deal with. It soaks a lot of damage. Oh, Ace is right next to where Red Rook was. Red Rook guessed where the teleport was going to go. They unfortunately read Ace very well there. And Ace, you're always more than welcome to choose Butcher. I'm not going to stop you. It just may be your teammates. But no, we've realized that this is for home now. Red Rook is not to leave, neither is Bramble. They're basically only going to leave to go to the objectives, which are coming up in a few moments. Jaina coming up does drop a blizzard on the wave, helping ProBUs get away with their camp up top. Is that the turret? I was going to say that looks really weird from this angle, but yep. ProBUs doing what they can to quickly get this. They're running out of time, however, its objective is coming up. Diablo will be holding high, and Jaina will be starting the channel. Ektar seeing what they can do to push in, does get shoved out. Red Rook doing their best to zone for Gambling. And both teams able just to get their objectives traded once again. So, literally, we're step and step in essence of the objectives channeled. But in terms of buildings, bottom was taken by PSISTORM Zurgling Surprise. So it was quite hard for the side of ProBUs to get as much value there as PSISTORM Zurgling Surprise did get 2 extra shots on the core compared to ProBUs. And now we see Bramble and Red Rook's plan of really just hold this spot so they can't leave. Hold this area so they can't take it back. But unfortunately, Chromie makes it much harder to utilize that plan, as the Falling Sands were targeting the building a lot, and they were completed as well, so they do a decent amount of damage. And unlike Chromie's Qs, they are not subject to being damage reduced on structures. Sorry. Once again, people are messaging me in the middle of casting. I really just put myself in Do Not Disturb in these situations. We see 8-Bit gets pushed by Red Rook. A couple of slaps from Bramble onto 8-Bit as well, but nope, the Slowing Sands do a lot to slow you down, as Bramble is becoming aware of. Keep in mind, this camp is up. We may see someone such as Gambling or Bramble go off to grab it. But no, we do see the swap onto 8-bit. They are going to be going in, but Root comes out onto Brightwing. Brightwing taking a lot of damage from Gambling, unable to find that Q onto him. However, they do blink in to heal 8-bit right as Gambling uses their Cone of Cold, and the Brightwing just gets blown up. Also, welcome, Raka. Hope you're doing well. Excellent to hear that you have you're with your cats today, I should say. Right, camps are going to be picked up. We do see that ProBUs will actually be invaded, though I think Ace was scouted by Nimsy. Nimsy just slowly jogging towards Yetiman. And that is not where you want to be all of a sudden if you're Nimsy. Does hit the point blank route. Does throw out their W, but we can see now they're in danger. Gets pulled back in. Light Bomb actually keeping him alive a little bit longer than they expected. That still is a dead healer at the end of the day. That is a route onto Ace. Ace actually gets... Unfortunately, Ace's Warden's Cage may have worked against them there as the whole enemy team was pulled to their location and they went down. Meanwhile, Jaina goes down. Yetiman did get the objective. Shoepuff relatively low, does pop the Essence. Nice tongue onto Bramble. Bramble taking a little bit of damage themselves, but they do have that 50 armor available to them. And they are going to hold on. Red Rock getting a push onto Dahaka. Dahaka not quite as much Essence this time around. Bramble still stuck in those Falling Sands with spell armor popped right as the Falling Sands were hitting their head. They get to be alright. Abby gets pushed back in, but they realistically don't have anyone with them as Yetiman and Bramble had both backed up.
Use it well.
What? I mean, I knew I could do that. I've opened my tunnel as well.
Right, we're looking at potentially... No, the camp isn't even up, I was to say. We're looking at potentially getting a team fight, sorry. But Red Rook and Bramble are now in an awkward spot. Nimsy is there to see if they can help them, but isn't too far away. Bramble, Red Rook taking a lot of damage. Nice Light Bomb hitting just the variant, however, as Dahaka. Shoepuff did burrow. Ektar goes down. 8-bit goes down. Shoepuff may be next one on the chopping block, although Red Rook is taking a lot of damage. Gets finally pulled by Nimsy out. It looks like it was the... Interesting to see we have a push forward. But no, we see Shoepuff being pushed into by the Red Rook. And they go down. All while this building is still the side of PSISTORM. PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise as well. ProBUs hasn't really been able to step in to take this building back. Red Rook and Bramble are doing such a good job of zoning. And they're doing very well at doing that. So Anduin is just going to mosey on back here to the correct position of this bottom right hand corner and cap the objective. However, Chromie can't step in to do anything on this to take this tower back. No one's anywhere near Anduin, and Anduin will be able to get that pretty safely. Because not even a Dahaka can burrow in behind at this point as they are dead. You can see Gambling and Bramble starting their own camp. 4 shots left. Keep in mind, Boss is now a winning position at this point. Red Rock does get taunted. We see the damage coming out. They are stuck in the slowing sands. And that will be a swap in. A lot of damage, but no, that is a living tanks. Ace does drop their Warden's Cage. Red Rock does eat the sides of it. But they are trying their best to get out the hole at the front. Back towards the fort where that is their safety. But no, we see Jaina and Diablo went down. Diablo did have the soul reset there. And while ProBUs is seeing if they can get their a 6 cap, but I don't know if that will come through in time. No, it will not. As the team of PSISTORM, Zerglings, Zurprise are forced to back out. Red Rook heading back bottom, barely skirts around the side of ProBUs. Very nice of him, and we can even see Yetiman playing safe, and ProBUs actually taking Boss off the map. They're not wanting to they're wanting to make sure that they can't just get that taken from under their noses and actually lose that way. So we see Bramble and Co dealing with bottom instead, seeing if they can push there. Azera goes with 4 shots of Boss into the core of PSISTORM, Zerglings, Zurprise. This building dropping pretty quickly now. May actually even convert before the objective fades. That would be ideal if you are the side of PSISTORM, Zerglings, Zurprise. And we do get it ProBUs now, once again, at that disadvantage. They have only 1 fort off, so even if they get these, they need to defend both objectives. They can't just give one away. That was Frostblink used by the Jaina. Jaina, however, not going to be able to get out of there. We'll go down. If Anduin could just sneak this and the rest of the team zone for them, that'd be excellent. However, I don't think they can. Yep, Nimsy goes down. Potentially, what may have to have been Nimsy was the one zoning while ProBUs did the objective, hard to say. You know, we can see both objectives are still up. And it will still be a fight. Nice push onto Shoepuff. Shoepuff, however, has adaptation rolling through, taking a decent amount of damage themselves. John Bunyan getting very low there. Steps next back to Bramble. However, they're in the swap range of Bramble. Bramble Qs through him. That's him going down. Light Bomb then means Varian will be the next to fall. Shoepuff pushing the wall. Does get stunned by Red Rook once, twice. Not a third time as it is Flame Bomb build. But GG is called. Yediman gets the last shots of the core. Going on over into this building here, and that is it done. And look at the animation, half of them didn't even hit the building itself, but that is the second game of the series going over to PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise. That makes things very even and very interesting. So let me swap it on over to the summary screen. So apparently we will be starting with the talents this time. Anything that stands out to me. Yeah, Dahaka went full W build, which I always find interesting. It's not something I run, but I know it can be very successful. Interesting to see reactive parry picked up on Artanis. I do like it coming through, especially when you have the spell armor and other defensive to deal with things. You actually become a very hard character to kill, and you can pick up talents such as Titan Killer because you do have this extra block already at level 1 and at level 13. So yeah, all interesting stuff. I do have to say most interesting thing from Ander when it's pushed forward. And again, don't ask me about my EV. I have no clue how my EV actually works. In terms of stats, we do see this echoed as Jaina and Chromie very close in terms of damage. 2k between them. While ProBUs did outsoak Dahaka a little bit as they do have Siege. Yeah, thank you for that, Ace. In terms of soak, ProBUs did also do a lot more than Dahaka. But ProBUs was left alone to their own devices where they had to do things. On that, we do see that healing, 85k by Brightwing, 70k Anduin. Ektar did the best, however, couldn't quite keep up. So, the question is, what is the last map, and am I going to be angry that it's Infernal Shrines, because Ektar knows how much to do it. I dislike it. Right, before I quit that, let me swap on over to this view first. Far out, Ektar. In that case, you get to see the bad sentence. Oh, it is. There, read that Ektar and cry. But I will be opening up the map now, as we're now aware it is Infernal Shrines, a map that I have, I enjoy playing the map, I will give it that. I very much enjoy playing Infernal Shrines. Casting it, I've casted it so many times. But we are going to get into the game, we are going to cast it. Let's get into the things. I do have to say, I've been very fortunate this season that it's less than half the games I've casted this season. Or I've just... Yeah. You're lucky you at least have an Ufa, which... I'll give you that. If you didn't have the Ufa, I would not forgive you, but I do like Ufa, so I may forgive you on this instance.
10 seconds.
Anyway, Ektar is on Anduin, Ace is on Ufa, 8-bit going on to the... Joanna once again, Shoepuff is on Vahoga once again, and John Bunyan in that kind of hyper carry situation as Gul'dan. On the other side, we do have Yetiman 14 on the Stabby Daddy Imperius. Gambling is the Chromie. Red Rook on the Blaze. Nimsy is on the puts his hand down. Stukov, and we can see that Bramble has gone top with what was likely off lane Zagara. See now the brawl is bringing up. We want to minimize chance by choosing a small, pretty strong objective. Yeah, that's fair. Still saddened by this, but you're making me do this. We know, see, Ace is already there clearing the way. What builds are we going to get? We do see that it is stun build Uther, so stacking that, need to get the orders up. Q build. Oh, I do actually like Q build on Gul'dan. Not many people. Yeah, clearing is a very loose term. You very much need you need Holy Fire to even remotely get anywhere near clearing. But I imagine we're going to see the Hammer talent that increases your move speed at 4 instead of it. Hard to say until then. Yeah. I was like, I have a general flow chart of how things work when I play Uther. I know I like Holy Fire, but I'm one of a few who also go W at 1, so it's a bit of preference at level 4, I imagine. We can see now, that actually the only term stacking is the Ufa and cooldown. Everything else is interesting. We do see endurance stim pack. I don't know how often this is picked. Often you see new habits if it's tank blaze, or even the purple stim pack, which I can't remember what it's called. All of a sudden, the one gives you mana. Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about I usually solo heal as Ufa. I was one of my better actually healers. But no, in terms of everything else, we do see that it is Root on the Anduin, and Piercing Light, as well as Subdue Joanna. Zagara once again going that Envenom Spines, which we've done it the other way around this time. Or on the side of PSISTORM, Zergling Surprise this time. And that's actually one thing to do. Other thing to note is Biotic Armor, which I don't know about the Biotic Armor into a Gul'dan as the main damage. Is that only really as physical armor? I'm wondering if you could bait off getting things such as one good spread. Or even, what's it called? Not one good spread. I can't remember. The level 4 of it gives like good burst healing. Well, we can see camps are being picked up. We do see that Nimsy finishes cap CS a little bit earlier than the side of ProBUs, but they should have that in a few moments. And actually, Ace has already finished their Hammer quest, which is pretty good time for that. Oh, however, we do see that PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise finished off the Hogger, and that is the one you probably didn't want to lose. As Hogger is the main clear for this objective, yeah, sure. John Bunyan will do very well in it. But in terms of the actual clear around the objective, Hogger is almost unrivaled, and they can push one button, and provided they get things right, just spin around the whole thing. Right, Spear coming out. We do see that Ace is the target. Gets hit with a lot of damage, and a pull coming out. And unfortunately for Ace, they couldn't quite heal themselves and protect themselves with their armor, but they will be fine at the end. But we do see Hogger spinning. Oh, they got that infinite going on. And oh no, they've missed. Because normally you just see them go around this bottom square, but also you can bounce there and there. Oh, Bramble did get hit with a hammer by Ace. Ace just kind of fighting a 1v1 on their own. It's going alright for them. Not going great, but it's going alright. We can now see that Sevens are through for the side of PSISTORM Zergling Surprise. We see Spear from Yetiman not finding its target there. But no, that is Joe backing on up. Ace relatively low, wants the globe, does not get it. And Shoop is alone. Oh, does dodge Yetiman, or is it Shu? Is it Shu Puff or Shoop Puff? But no, they step into the silence, they have nowhere to go. That's them going down. All while Chromie is peppering people with their sands. Nimsy, however, is the one in trouble. Joanna unable to get on top of him, while a shield glare may have actually killed them, but they weren't able to do it. I feel like you guys are memeing on your teammate a little bit here. But we do see that ProBUs does pick up the Punisher. Wait, that's not what I want. I want this. So let's see what's picked up. Yeah, and we do see Zagara has picked Bile Drop. Will they able to complete it where the ProBUs' team member didn't? We'll have to wait and see. We do see that it is a frozen Punisher, and that is unfortunate for PSISTORM Zerglings Surprise. I thought it was Shoop Off. Good. Oh, nice jump by the Punisher. Getting a decent amount of damage out. Will we get another round of Frost Rings? No, we will not. And it will be halving. Did run through the hourglass to do so, but fortunately we're not standing with it. But okay, interesting. So you all call them the... I'm not going to follow that lore. That's too much lore. I'll just get... Okay, Ace. What have you learned about trying to teach me things? How did your NGS history lesson go with me? But no, we can see camp has been picked up by both teams. ProBUs and PSISTORM Zergling Surprise get their own, and we can see that ProBUs actually steps onto the bottom one very quickly. Yetiman, however, finding out what's happening. I think I've scared off people from ever doing a NGS history lesson again, don't worry. But no, we can see they eventually get on there, and the team decides just to give. They did get forced out, unfortunately. The silence just meaning you can't quite stay on that objective for as long as you like, camp as long as you like. And, well, that is a good little bit of bullying by PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise to make sure that, well, the other team can't step back in. And now we can see Hogger was rotated on a little bit, does leave. Fortunately, they are one of the harder ones to catch. And this one bit of creep here, meaning that people can't. What do you mean remedial? What do you mean remedial NGS history? Anyway, you can see 8-bit does take out the little bit of creep tumors around. And you know what, 7-8, this is where Holy Fire is important. It means you can find the creep without using abilities. Note 10s are through for both teams. We do have D shield on the Ufa, which I'm actually surprised. We do also, never mind, not surprised anymore. Blessed shield is on the Joanna. We do see Paul coming out the Ace. Does step back in to see if they can heal 8-bit. 8-bit taking a lot. Where's the D shield? There's the D shield. And we do see that John Bunyan's pushed out. Obviously, we do have Horrify Gul'dan. We do have a Loot Horde on the Hogger. Horde Pot, I should say, on Hogger and Lightbomb. And on the other side, we do have Zagara going more. Devouring more, even. Combustion Blaze. Interesting. Angelic Armaments is on the Imperius, who we can see who's just using that level 7 swing to do thing. As well as Massive Shove on the Stukov, and once again, Slowing Sands on the Chromie. Just on the other team this time. And Chromie picks up the Invuln. Stasis, even, some would call it. Timeout. What it's actually called. 8-bit gets a nice start onto Red Rook. Red Rook not really going to take too much damage. They did drop the Endurance Stim back there, just to make sure they don't really take any damage. And we'll be rotating back up. As this objective is up in just a few seconds. Zagara is going to have to deal with this camp top. Or they are just going to come down. One of the two. It looks like it's going to be the latter. So let's see how this objective goes. Red Rook trying to see if they can get any minions just via poke. They do not. And we can see that is a Hogger spinning. As Shoe Puff is just going all the way around. Oh, Moore actually comes out. Catches Hogger mid-spin. That is unfortunate if you're Hogger. It doesn't quite get cancelled there, but we can see they dash through. Nimsy is the one in trouble. And that will be the main target of the 4-man. We see Ektar gets de-shielded by Ace, as that is the main healer you want to keep up. We do see the Shaman camp did take out top 4 as Zagara did leave it. There's a spear onto Ace. Ace getting a lot of healing all at once, and Yediman just realizes they can't quite get off of that. Red Rook actually charges in. John Bunyan doesn't quite find any damage, and Gambling now has a Hogger on their back. And we see Shoepuff once again just a little bit too early on the Q into the Horde, into the Loot Horde, as Loot Horde was still in the process of placing itself on the field. And that's a good objective phase for PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise, and honestly, you can just 39 this and leave it just to quickly do things around that, but no, it looks like they're wanting to wrap things up here. And meanwhile, we do see camps both being picked up. Oh, it's been sniffed out. Nice charge by Blades. Red Rook meaning they can get it. Hogger can't get on top of him, but they do take a decent amount off the camp. So we have an Arcane Punisher now pushing mid. And they're going to see what they can do to clear this up. It has already gone to the front gate, and the fort will be on top block. Oh, cancel the charge. Light Bomb hitting both the others. See now Zagara is the one in trouble. Nice shove by Nimsy, meaning Bramble will not go down there. Ektar actually taking a lot of damage, gets taken out by some Chromie W's as well as the fort. Sure, fort's about to go down, but the damage is already done. That is a death onto your Hogger and your Anduin. You can't necessarily stay here anymore. You see that while 8-bit was holding around for a little bit, they are going to leave, do something else, and we can see that Ace is going, you know what, I should probably get top soak. I say get top soak, but really they're just going to run up, pop a W and leave, because they can't do too much more. But camp now picked up by John Bunyan 8-bit. We can see that Hogger is going to make his way up to Ace. Is Ace wanting very much to make sure they do get all that soak. But no, there are people hiding off map. You're not necessarily wanting to do anything. It does work pretty well on paper. Yeah, there's interest. It is a difficult one to pull off, especially when you have things such as these shrine minions, making it a little bit harder for Chromie to get their full value up until 18. In saying that though, what's the word I'm looking for? The Falling Sands is very good here. The Dragon's Breath is excellent into this objective. I accidentally clicked on Zagara. Kill this menu, please. Thank you, Tower. But yeah, this is a harder comp to pull off. But I do like it in saying that. Just Joe and Uva are very good at dealing with things such as an Imperius and Blaze going in. It makes things much harder for them. But especially because Imperius needs to kind of auto to survive and to really heal and to get all his damage out. He has autos. So yeah, something such as a hammer or a counter engage from 8-bit is very hard. Makes it very hard to confirm anything. And yeah, as Ace just said, Ufa does just make things very hard to kill in general. Yeah, so it's a good comp. Just into double healers such as Ando and Ufa, it is a very hard thing to actually secure one of these kills. In fact, I'm hoping we see teleport from Yeti Man. If teleport comes out from Yeti Man, it makes things much harder for people to live. But I don't know if we do see that. It's coming through now, so let's have a look. We see pretty standard stuff across the board. Full charge build. Yep. Interesting Pyromania. Meltdown. I do like Meltdown, actually. It's very fun talent. Q build fully online for ProBUs. And we see ProBUs starting their own camp. Induction Ufa. All makes sense. Okay, interesting. We see Guardian of Ancient Kings. Probably means we're going to get the respawn talent over at level 20. I do still like Cleanse a little bit more. Hogger is in an awkward spot for Shoepuff. Does get stunned on his way out. We do see that it is D-Shield keeping them alive. However, it's a lot of damage coming out there. But Shoepuff goes back in. Nice double fear. And because of how Hogger hit the Q right at the right time. Oh, Chromie. Spear coming out. Gambling, however, not going to be able to get out themselves. Does go down. Yesiman now on an island. Just stuck in the middle of everything. Seeing if they can get to John Bunyan before they go down. But no, they are not. I think that PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise can push into areas quite well. I think just ProBUs is very good at holding areas very well as well. Like the exceptional hold you can have between a Ufa, a Joanna, and a Hogger is very strong. Like most teams, even Dive would have a Dive or a kind of meatball style comp would have a lot of difficulty pushing into this front line. Especially when you then have a D-Shield for your squishier heroes as well as a pull if there's too much danger on your front line. Speaking of which, we do see you can't pull, we start at bottom. As Mortar Punisher is picked up while the top camp, Bruiser Camp is also picked up by Shoot. Alright, Red Rook is in position. Right. If you are PSISTORM Zerglings Zurprise, what do you really need to do to kind of get back to this? Get a pick, yes. It's quite hard to do that. You just need to hit one good stun chain on someone that is maybe Ufa or Anduin is realistically the ones you need to stop from doing anything. Like, we see a good stun there, which means Ace can't use his D-Shield for a little bit. But no, you need to just have a little bit more damage on top, and Bramble's not necessarily the most versatile of things. And Gambling's trying their best, but it's also difficult for them. But we can see now that the Angelic Armaments does just find its target onto the Immortal. Immortal does drop. Jet prop? Yeah, no, Punisher's been getting a little bit less value than I think either team would like this game. In terms of at least for kills, I'd say you can't really complain too much if you are ProBUs getting what structures you already have with the Punishers you have found. And our camera works off because I'm having a drink, sorry. Yeah, I guess in saying that you haven't really needed to cleanse. Let's say Guardian of Ancient Kings does still do very well in these situations. Especially 50 armor is quite hard to deal with. It does get a little bit worse at this point when there is percent damage on the field, but it's still very good. What will you pick here is my question. But alright, we do see Blood by Light on Joanna. We do also see Haunt on the Gul'dan, Anger Management Hogger, Censure on the Anduin, and we do see Bulwark of Light. I think that's what it's called? Yeah, Bulwark of Light on the Ufa. So AoE D-Shield, which in these messier fights will help out a lot. We see both teams backing out. Shoepuff holding in a bush. And Red Rock has scouted them. Yeah. No, I had a feeling that was the case. If everyone's in a maw and gets spit out in roughly the same spot, that is a big VND shield under it that a lot of people can heal up from. And we can see Zagara actually completed their level 7. And now we see camp being picked up. Very much we're just getting... ProBUs knows that they have 20 advantage, they just want to paint the map blue. So may as well do it while they have the chance. Ah, the camp quest specialist. Oofa. I see Gordon is about to join them. Here he is. And Ace does eventually get there with a little hand from Gordon. But I see that PSISTORM, Zerglings, Zurprise has been turtling very well, actually. They're getting close to having their 20s, and those will be vital coming up. So this is going to be like the make or break point for the team of PSISTORM, Zerglings, Zurprise. Will they be able to get it is my question. I very much hope so. I very much hope that they can get one objective, get their 20s and get the objective here. Because it'll make things a little bit more interesting. But will that happen is definitely the question. The Shoop is going to be starting spinning around for the objective now. They do have that infinite going. Between Zafru, we do have pack tactics. Combustion upgrade of Flash, Fire, Impervious, Imperious. Top off on the Stukov and Piercing Sands Gromy, which I imagined we would have seen Piercing Sands as a subjective. It makes it much easier to actually do things as Gromy. You're not just relying on your Falling Sands to do damage. 8-bit sticks up quite high actually, taking a decent amount of damage from Yeti Man alone. But no, we are going to be stepping back in. Hogger spins all the way through. Does Waterbot on the backline. Nice triple stun there, but no, we see Red Hook does find their own. There's the 2 in the more. Shoepuff taking out the Chromie. There's the AoE D-Shield finding 2. We see a nice Light Bomb on Anduin. And that D-Shield is such a problem. Bollock of Light can do a lot. Sure, Ektar goes down. And now you still have a 2v4. Yeeman does spear onto John Bunya, but we do see Ace does still up with that healing. Blind of Light is for talent I always pick. Does it also extend it? Yeah. 1 second longer on that Bollock of Light as well. And bottom 4 went down. I don't necessarily know about taking Blind of a Light, however, when you have 2 healers. Well, I do understand it a lot of the time. 2 healers, maybe not. But I do like it. I do think it's a good talent.
Red team's core is under
Yeah.
attack.
You may have done a little bit of Radiating Faith. May have been a good choice here with the mini hits of a D-Shield. Yep. As Ace just confirmed what I was saying. So we do see buildings are going to be dropped. Red Rook in for a little bit of a ride if they want to try make sure no one can get the finish. They do a little bit of damage. Red Rook wanting to know if they should go in or not. We do see the stun onto Joanna. It may not be the stun you needed, but it's the stun you're getting. And hopefully it's the stun enough, but no, we can see the core is quickly falling down. Ace all while just bonking it. 8-bit popping that, blinded by the light. They needed to that time because the healer is a little bit AFK. Ace not quite getting the healing onto them that 8-bit has been needed. You see that Chromie went down at the end there, but that'll be the third map of the series, and the second map they needed, go over to ProBUs as they get for win there. Well played, both teams. Ace, I just don't believe you. I do have to say, knowing PSISTORM, Zerglings, Zurprise do have these interesting comps, I may be inclined to cast them more in the future, as dang, that's a fun one to cast. But no, we did see the double sport did end up triumphing. Ufa and Ektar both doing pretty well. Ufa only 52k healing, 73k of Anduin, but 55k of Stukov. Stukov was having a little bit of trouble getting through. Well, Stukov was having a little bit of trouble protecting everyone from everything. So in terms of hero damage, we do see Hogger had most hero damage and siege for the side of ProBUs, while Zagara had most hero damage and most siege was Chromie, very close to Ektar, but Zagara had most soak, while Hogger had most soak for their team. On that, let's have a look at talents. Everything here. Oh, Cubo cooldown is probably the interesting thing that stands out to me immediately. Not often you see it, especially with things such as Dark Bargain. Interesting choice. It does make him a lot tankier, but that respawn time can become a bit of an issue, but they didn't really go down. But yeah, Zerglings did very well here today. Bardic Armor is probably the other question mark for me, as the team of ProBUs wasn't exactly heavy auto attack damage. They were very much more of a spell damage category between Gul'dan and Hogger. Other than that, everything else, good stuff. Chromie build, very good. And like, yep, I do like the pickup of Endurance Stim Pack. Actually helped Blaze survive a few times more than they will. And that Endurance Stim Pack actually let him survive quite a few times, as well as Meltdown, but damage reduction can do a lot in these given situations. Right, let me go over to map view and see how we went, and I forgot to do things, huh? Right, as we did see, it was eventually a 2-1 over to the side of ProBUs. PSISTORM, Zerglings, Zurprise did very well in this situation. I'm very happy to watch. I was very happy to cast this series. I'm happy that there was a redemption for it to happen. So that was PSISTORM. ProBUs did take it 2-0. The first map, very strange in terms of the grand scheme of things, but they did pull through in the end. Other than that, we did see the PSISTORM Zergling Surprise having a very strong map number 2. That Artanis Diablo was very hard to push into, and they were actually able to hold the front line very, very well. That then led us to that last map of Infernal Shrines, which was very much, did seem in favor of ProBUs, but it was very close to PSISTORM Zergling Surprise a few times. Just getting that to that point where they could come back and take it. So that has been it for me for this series. What we may do is I may do another Division A game. Yeah, I'll do another Division A game. What do I want to do? Do I? Do I want to do a Division A? I'm thinking, chat. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Yeah, let's do PP versus PPP, as we have PSISTORM probes facing us against Pidges, Perilous Pigeons. So what I'll do is I will claim that. I'll put myself on mute, have a quick drink, run a quick ad break, and I'll be back in a few moments after I do all the things I need to do to get this started. So I'll see you all on the other side of this break. Catch you in a few.